right, welcome everyone to another edition of Troubled Tea Time, presented by Troubled Tea. We're sitting here with two of Red Deer's most accomplished hockey players, and also Dustin as well is joined. He plays some hockey, but that's all we can say about him. So Paul Postma, Matt Fraser, welcome to Tea Time, and thanks a lot for joining us.
Hey, thanks guys. Thanks for having us.
Where are you guys at, Paul? You out at the lake?
Yeah, I'm out at the lake right now, so it's a little bit sketchy with my service. I don't know. I might cut in and out sometimes. Just bear with me, but yeah, it's a beautiful day out here.
It's
all good.
That's the life of a pro hockey player. He takes some time off from his days at the lake to put in some time for give back to the community.
That's all me and
that could have been all yours, Dustin.
Yeah. You gotta give the fans what they want, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
we're talking back to Alberta too, guys. You're only been back a little while, right? You're fresh off a championship in Austria, yeah. So congratulations. First off, what was that like? Obviously, being able to play hockey this past year is a privilege. Obviously, it always is, but this year more than ever. So, what was that like too? Just playing overseas with everything that's been going on.
You want to go?
Yeah,
Fred? Let me take this one.
Might be delayed a little bit, but yeah, it was great. It was a neat experience, and there obviously was a lot that went into it just to make the season happen. And once we got over there, they had all the COVID protocols and everything like that. And then once you do finally get on the ice, there's no fans to be out there. And I guess, I've played in a few leagues in Europe, and one of the best parts about playing in Europe is how crazy the fans can be and how wild that experience is. So you definitely miss that. That's something that you really look forward to as a player. But at the end of the day, it was exciting for us to win, and it was kind of like an intimate experience for the organization a little bit. Like, it was just the players, the coaches, a few front staff people, and then after that it was all done. So it was a little bit different, but at the same time we had a lot of fun with it, and the beer still tasted the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It really, so, if I could say so it's crazy that, oh, sorry, Marzi. I was just going to say it's crazy that, like with all the COVID stuff going on back home, you kind of live in a bit of a fishbowl here, like we're just in Red Deer. Then you go across, you go to Europe, and the same stuff's happening over there. Like, this was a global thing. Like, we didn't go out for dinner once the whole time we were there. Yeah. Like, it was locked down. Yeah. So that part of it was a little bit frustrating. It was a little bit tough, but like, then you understand, like, this isn't just like a Canada, North America thing. Like, this is a world thing, which is crazy. But when you can go play in Europe and one of the best countries, it was absolutely gorgeous with one of your best buddies, and that part was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the restrictions a little bit more hardcore over there, or are they pretty much the same as what we had here?
I'd say they were a little more strict.
Yeah, they were pretty. Yeah.
Sorry, I got a bit of a delay going, I think, here, but I think they were more strict earlier on, and then now I believe everything's opened up again starting like last week. So they were like a little bit ahead on the lockdowns, but they're a little bit ahead on reopening everything up.
So I guess for those who are logged in listening, and those who will listen later, Matt and Paul, they've carved out a pretty similar path in their hockey careers, starting in, elite hockey in Red Deer minor, moving up to the Western League, both played in the NHL, in the AHL, and then have since found their way to each other somehow over in Austria and won a championship. Yeah. I think that's unbelievable. Like, I think that's so cool. And obviously myself, I grew up, you guys are younger than me, but our families had a cabin together, and Paul, I grew up with both your sisters. So I've always known your family the whole time. And it's just so cool
Yeah.
to see in the paper and in the news that you guys are still playing and still rocking it over in Europe, and now we're champions. So that's pretty neat from my end. How do you what are the plans, I guess, for next year? You guys thinking of playing again?
Yeah, we're
Yes,
both
sir.
going back. Yeah, we're both going back.
Same team?
Yeah, same team.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
If
same.
you ever read the news ever, Dustin, you would have read that. You both re-signed with the team.
Yeah, Dustin.
Or had someone read you the news, I should say. So before
We had way
get
too
any
much
further,
fun together.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
So I forgot right off the top,
Fun.
too, because I was so excited to get into this, that I gotta thank you again, Trouble Tea, for providing everyone with a case of tea. They still have the cooler bags. Make sure you go in, and treat for you guys being back in Alberta. You can only get the Troubled Tea, and I don't know, maybe you guys have had it before. Maybe this is the first time, but we always have to put you on the spot and ask what you think.
I love it. I like the nice crispy part of it, like the nice crispy aftertaste. This is definitely not my first one of these, but it always tastes good.
This is actually my first one.
Of course.
Yeah, I was more of a twisted tea guy, but these are way better. I think those twisted teas, just pure sugar. It's just a hangover waiting to happen, but these are really smooth. I like them a lot.
Obviously, he's never drank a bundle of these before, then.
No, never.
Couple handfuls, right?
Yeah. You need at least 2 or 3 handfuls to get a hangover. And maybe you guys can bring some back to Austria next year or later this year when you go back and be the Canadian ambassadors to Austria.
Yeah.
I don't think they don't like beer and booze much over there, right? So you can start.
No, none of it.
Do you guys have a favorite Austrian beer?
No.
Post, you got to get that figured out, dude.
What?
Well, to answer your question, so like in Germany and Austria and like those big like beer countries, it's by law they're only allowed to brew their beer with 3 ingredients, and it's hops, yeast, and water. Barley, hops, and water. But it's by law. So there's like the difference of beer. It's not like back home here where there's seltzers and there's coolers and there's White Claws. Like you get beer, and each kind of province within Germany brews their own beer, and kind of that province only has that. So it'd be like if Alberta only drank like I guess Saskatchewan only drank Pilsner, and Alberta only drank Troubled Monk, or like each province kind of has like their own beer, and you don't really stray too far from it. So like you try what that province has, and you know it's all really good. I mean, yeah.
Fraz knows his beers just a little bit.
Yeah.
And only Ryan Lund would ask about your favorite beer on a segment sponsored by Trouble Tea.
Yeah. Well,
I know Austria likes their beers.
Read the room. Yeah. So really, what led into the decision to go? Hopefully you can hear me. We got Stars helicopter or something flying over us right now. What led into that decision to go to Austria to play? I know a lot of pro hockey players kind of get to that crossroads, and tell me that if I need to ask this again, if you can't hear me, let me know. What led to that decision for you guys to keep playing it and to move overseas to do it?
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Basically, Fraz, I can take this one if you want.
Yeah.
Me and Fraz work out together every day. Like I get enough of this guy in my life. So one day he comes to the gym and basically was like, "Hey, I'm talking to a team in Austria," and to be completely honest, I've never even heard of the team, didn't know where it was, did a little bit of research, and then he said, "Yeah, I'm thinking about signing there. They just offered me a deal," and he
like
signed the contract.
The context of it was like, we were both kind of waiting on contracts for like the season with the COVID stuff. We weren't really sure, like teams didn't know what they were doing. So it was like, we were both just kind of like, I mean, we were going to the gym, but we were just kind of like pissing around together and playing baseball and just like
it
having
was the
fun with
first
it.
week of
But
December, and normally you're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone at the start of August.
yeah, so you're just like your hopes aren't real high with that. So that was why it was kind of like a big deal. And so go ahead, Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, so like it was like mid-December. We had waited forever. We're both waiting on contracts because normally we're leaving in August. So, like a 3-4 month summer turns into more of like an 8-month summer. You start to, panic a little bit and wonder if you're going to play hockey that year. So I was pumped that Fraz signed a deal and he was going to go play. And then basically I just asked him like, hey, do you want to ask your agent if they want a defenseman? And like, long story short, his agent talked to the GM there, and within a day came back to me and they're like, yeah, Fraz is coming. We got him for this year, and he signed a 2-year deal for next year. And they're like, we'd love to have you join us. And I made up the decision. Me and Fraz talked like that day basically, and then over the next like 48 hours, and then basically just decided to let's do this thing, and we'll go over there together and have some fun.
Were there a lot of Canadians on that team?
No, there was one other guy. He was from Ottawa.
So how's the language barrier? Like, is it hard to communicate? Like, does your coach speak English and stuff?
Yeah, so we had 2 Finnish coaches, and they both spoke English, like really good English. And then all the Austrians do too. And even everyone over there speaks English. They all grow up learning English. So it's not like you're ever in a position where you're like, unless you're talking to someone who's like, like an elder, like an older person over there who's maybe lost it or just never learned it. But yeah, for the most part, everyone can speak English. And
at the grocery store. The odd time.
Yeah, you can pick up. Yeah,
till whatever. Someone wouldn't speak English, but you could get by.
Yeah, you figure it out. Yeah.
So you guys have played. Obviously, Maddie, you played in Sweden, Austria, Germany, I think, and Paulie, Russia, Switzerland, and Austria. So you guys have seen, hockey's took you guys to some cool spots. What's been kind of the coolest thing you've seen overseas so far, outside of hockey?
Oh.
I don't mind.
Yeah, you go ahead, Fraz.
So during the season in Europe, there's 2 national team breaks, and it's 2 10-day breaks during the season. So you get a week off, and then you come back, practice for 3 days, and then you get back into the season. But so you get a week off to travel wherever you want. And last year, Matt Hawks, Michael Stickland, Ian Dixon, and Colin Archer flew over to Germany. They watched one of our games, and then we went into national team break, and then we flew to Dublin, Ireland, and went there for 3 or 4 days, and had some. Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
I bet you that sucked.
Yeah. That was definitely one of the ones that sticks out. It's always cool to have people come over and visit and stuff like that. Like it's cool to see all those places, but it's great to have friends come over and travel and see some places with you.
Yeah, when I was in Russia, those breaks were a bit of a myth because we would get about a day and a half off out of the 6 days, and then the rest of the break we'd have 2 days doing workouts and practicing, like typical Russian stuff.
You went to Dubai though. You went to Dubai.
Actually, yeah, my first year in Russia, they won a championship years ago, and the whole team went to Dubai for like 3 days. So they're so superstitious that now they go every year because they think if they go to Dubai, they're gonna win. So, but
that's legit.
But that story, I mean, we flew right after the game. We left, I think, at 1 a.m, and then all the family, we had a private flight, family and friends, whatever, can jump on the plane. We had that next week, flew all night, get to Dubai, have that whole next day off, which was great, but all the guys are boozing on the plane. and you don't sleep. So when you finally get to your hotel, everyone's like crashing or sleeping by the pool. And then the next, I think we were there 3 or 4 days. We had a morning workout, which was an hour run on the beach, or an hour spin class at this resort, and then a lift, in the afternoon. So it's like you couldn't even hammer out your workout in the morning and then go like travel, like see some stuff, because they made you come back and do a lift in the afternoon. We get back from Dubai, and I'm more tired than when I left. Like, it was exhausting.
Probably got a pretty good tan though.
Yeah, great tan. It was 35 degrees. And then I don't want to ramble, but we hosted the All-Star game right when we landed the next 4 days. So it turns into the All-Star break. And I was lucky enough to be able to play in it. And my coach made me practice the whole time with the team.
Humble brag.
And then at night, no, I'm just telling. And then at night, I would have to go. I'd have to practice with the team in the morning, and then in the afternoon, go and do like the skills competition, and then like get home back to like the base, the Baza. Next day, practice with the team, get bagged, and then go play like the game. It was and my coach for my team was the coach for the All-Star team, and he's like, it's 3-on-3, like it's a joke. Like there's a beer tap in the dressing room, and he's just staring at me the whole time like, don't you dare drink one of those beers. And I'm like, this is the All-Star break, like we're hosting it, it's a joke. And he was so like, if we didn't win that, he was so mad. But we lost, and he was legit pissed because we were hosting it and we lost on a 3-on-3 tournament. But I don't know.
They're just built different over there.
That's just Russia for you. Anyways, lots of good experiences overseas though. Like all good memories, good times.
Hey, this Instagram live, I've never done this before, but it's hilarious. You can see people commenting on it and stuff.
Oh yeah.
JD Moracle.
Welcome to the future.
Tell JD Moracle, take your shirt off.
So Dustin mentioned obviously the cool places you guys have got to go overseas. Well, let's talk about I would assume the greatest experience is playing in the National Hockey League. Growing up, coming up through Red Deer minor hockey to playing here and getting drafted. Paul, you had the distinction of being, I think, an Atlanta Thrashers draft pick, which not many people anymore, at least younger than you, can say, which I think is pretty cool. But what was that like? Obviously, getting that experience, something Dustin Moore only dreams about.
Yeah, it was different, just a place that you never think would have a hockey team kind of thing. Like the summer development camps, if you're doing dryland training, you got to do it at 7 a.m. because by 9 o'clock it's 100 degrees out there, right? And then the rink and stuff was beautiful, but it's not a market for hockey. So the guys actually loved it because they could go downtown and they could get away with, going out. No one knew who they were. So and it's a cool big city, and I mean the weather's obviously amazing. So the guys liked that part of it, and I was able to play my first few games with that team, which is pretty cool considering they don't exist anymore. But
you're an OG, dude.
Yeah, OG.
Did you sneak in a few hot dogs in the varsity, or?
No, you know me. I don't touch those things, but no, I'm just kidding.
I was there every day when I was in Atlanta.
No, I don't know. It was. Were you? No, I only played 3 games, so I mean I wasn't there that much. It was mostly like summer development camps and training camps. I was a rookie, so I was just getting bullied by those old guys. And then when they sold the team, then I kind of cracked the team once they got into Winnipeg.
Okay, Fraser, before you answer, Rex wants to know you and Posty's OT picks.
OT pick. That's the Boston game, right? I got the Carolina on one right now.
Yeah, the Boston game.
I'm going Coyle for Boston.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go Boston as well.
He didn't ask you.
I'm going to go Krejci for Boston.
Okay.
Gosh, maybe Pasternak.
I do like the Islanders, though, man. Lundy, you're pretty quiet over there.
He's concussed from his bike ride accident last weekend.
I saw him. I think the next day in the grocery store, and I was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
that's
I saw
awesome.
him. I saw him in the grocery store, and he was telling me about his bike crash and everything, and I could tell his ego was a little bit bruised too. Like I was.
Yeah, it definitely shook me. I haven't purchased a new bike yet, but I'm gonna get back on the horse pretty soon.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
So here's a good fun question, because I'm not going to let Lundy talk, because he's enjoy your tease, Lundy. Like Fraz, when you got traded from Dallas to Boston in the Tyler Sagan deal, like that's a pretty big brag for you to take to your grave. But you and Posty both played a number of games in the NHL. Who's the funnest guy you ever played with in the show?
Teddy Purcell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
What made
and
it
just
so
like,
fun?
and just like, he's just like a good dude. He's a good, like a great hockey player, but he's a good guy in the dressing room. Luke Gazik's another great guy. Like, just fun guys to be around. They're, just like, they're always out doing something, or they're just fun guys to hang around. Yeah. But everyone was fun. Like, it was always, I mean, you played with a lot of great guys. Like, you played on teams. Can't just pick one guy, I guess. But I mean, those are always fun guys.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I love, like, in Winnipeg, I actually hung out with Big Buff a lot. Awesome guy. Not the guy you want on your team if you're going to win, though. Not if he's playing defense. I mean, he just hung him up, and there's a reason. I mean, he doesn't really enjoy the game anymore, but it was more about having a good time for him. And we share a lot of the same common interests. We both like being outside hunting and stuff. So we were able to go duck hunting a couple times together and stuff like that, which was awesome. Good. It was a blast. Like, memories that I won't forget.
Do you guys still keep in touch with a lot of the guys you played with in the NHL?
The odd one. A few. A couple guys in Winnipeg. Couple guys are from Calgary and stuff. Couple guys in Boston I still talk to just a little bit, but not a ton. Just always cheering for him and rooting for him and stuff. But Fraz is social butterfly, so that guy keeps talking to everyone.
Okay. Just a likable guy.
That's outstanding. Look at these two guys. They're frozen. Or can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Well, Fraz, you're over in Timberstone. How come your connection's so good?
I don't know. I must have paid for the better Wi-Fi.
Which lake are you at, Posty? Out at Sylvan?
Yeah, I'm out at Sylvan right now. I'm surprised my connection's so good, because normally it's not great out here.
You've caught up now.
Yeah, you have caught up.
So Moorsy, you're with the Bulldogs now, hey? Like, you're officially started with them and kind of getting into that. How's that going?
It's unreal. It's they got a lot of stuff going on, and you know, they're going to build a pretty professional program for those junior A kids. Oh my God, Lund has no tarp on.
They're back.
They're back.
We're back.
I heard the fans want tarps off, so
give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Gotta give them what they want.
How's that shaved chest doing?
Hair's growing back pretty good. Might have to go for another waxing. It is getting a little chilly.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to suck in so hard it's gonna come out your back. So you have to put that shirt back on. I don't know. We might have missed this too. So you guys are talking about the most fun players. You don't have to name names. You can just describe why. But who is the weirdest teammate you ever had in the NHL?
Weirdest.
I don't like that. I would say that Hellebuck was a little bit of a weird dude. Like,
that's a good call.
I played with him in Manitoba when I was on the Moose, and like, it was just one of those goalie cliches, but I always found him to be a little bit of a different dude. But Yeah, I guess him. But
Goalies,
no one
goalies
really
have
sticks.
to be different.
Yeah, no one really
Yeah.
sticks out in my mind.
I'd probably say Fraz. I think Boston just scored there.
Did they?
I think so. Yeah,
Well,
it looks like Marshy scored.
Oh, there you go. Too bad you weren't part of the game.
Yeah.
Another guy, and Posty played with him too, but I think, anyways, was Yager, and I played with him in Dallas, like when I was my first or second year in like playing pro, and he was one of the weirdest guys. But it was like you were kind of mesmerized by him because he was obviously a legend, but like some of the stuff he would do, you wouldn't even think in your head, like we're taking off on the plane and they say put your seatbelts on and everything, and he's standing at the back of the plane running on the spot because it's like he's running uphill and he's getting like a little workout in as this huge plane is taking off with everyone. Yeah, like
that makes sense.
Yeah, like it was but then you sit there and you're like, well, that's like the legendary stuff that you would hear about. But it was, I don't know if that was weird or he was just on another level, like. But
he's still playing too.
Yeah, he is.
He'll play forever. Yeah.
Another weird guy, but Fraz could say this too, is actually big Zdeno Chara. Interesting guy, but just a little strange. I mean, he spoke 7 languages.
Oh.
Yeah, and after every flight, or he's in the back of the plane and he's got his special unique meal that no one else gets, and it was probably like lobster, steak and lobster or something that no one else is getting. And he's reading like a how-to book from like of China or like something weird.
Yeah.
And he's got his real estate license and he's got like a dozen properties in Boston.
Oh yeah, he's like a real estate guru in Boston. Like
selling you a house. I mean, I would just want one of them from being like terrified.
Yeah, you show up for an open house listing and Big Z's showing you around.
Yeah, you buy this house.
It's probably only high ceilings in house he shows, but
yeah, big doors.
Who's the most underrated player you guys have ever played with?
Dustin Moore. Oh, I thought you said overweight. Sorry.
Who do you got, Fraz? I don't know.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah. Honestly, every player in that league is good. Like they're there for a reason. It's just sometimes they don't show all their true qualities every time, but everyone's good.
That was
someone,
like,
but I don't know.
That was probably like 6 years ago for me. So, and that was like 6-7 years ago when I was in Boston, and that was kind of when Marchand was kind of coming into his own, where he was still really good, but wasn't the superstar that he is now. So I guess at that time I would say him, like he's maybe that. Yeah, I don't know.
And for as much as people hate that guy, he's one of the best in the league. He is so good, and if he's your teammate, he's the greatest guy in the world. Like he's so nice, so polite. Dude. He's like team first guy. Like even going on a flight, like he lets media guys go in front of him. Like
nicest, one of the nicest guys out there.
No one's outworking him in the gym. Like if you're doing 3 plates on a sled push, he's putting 4 on. Like the guy's unreal. He's the greatest teammate, like one of the greatest teammates I've ever had. Love that guy.
Good old Eastern Canadian boy.
Yeah.
Are you guys card players?
Not in that league because it's a little too rich for my blood.
How about over in Austria? Like, what do you guys play over in Austria?
Like Schnarples and stuff like that.
Schnarps. Yeah.
Were you a card player, Moorsey?
Oh yeah, Schnarps.
Yeah, back of the bus. Yeah.
Yeah, back of the bus. When I was a 20-year-old rookie,
Yeah, I
20-year-old rookie.
I remember being a call up with the Rebels when you were a 20-year-old. Yeah.
I
Martin.
Marty Hansel. I added
Marty
the NHLers on that team. There's a long list of them, and then there's Morsey.
Who's the other guy? Creel stuck up, and then there's Morsey.
So I got to ask too, because you did play a little bit with Dustin. You can answer honestly, because I can only imagine when he's 20. Was like your first impression of Dustin was, because I don't know, was he a douchebag or was he a good guy?
No, Morsey was always a great guy, and I had like Morsey said earlier, his folks and my folks, and then two other families. We shared a cabin out at Fairmont, British Columbia. And so we knew each other kind of growing up and everything like that. So I knew that he was playing in Olds, and, you know, and I kind of followed him just because we had known each other growing up. And then when he came to Red Deer, it was kind of like a bonus a little bit. Like I guess like a little bit like a big brother, even though I was only there for a little bit. I got to set my sights a little bit higher, but he was my big brother there for a little bit.
yeah, just a little higher. But yeah, no, it was great, and that was a good team. That was a really good team. That was actually fun.
I assumed you'd be a douche, Dustin. I was just curious because people are different when they're 20 and, you know, good at a sport or whatever. So
yeah. That was a fun episode to listen to when you were talking about that, because I remember that series and the Game 7 in Medicine Hat and all that. That was cool to kind of remember that. Yeah.
When do you guys
even though we lost?
Yeah.
When do you guys head back to Austria?
July 30th, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Pretty early.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your plans for the summer here? I guess you got 2 months.
Hot girl summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick one. So just try to get into some kind of game shape, get ready for the season, but then just try and make the most of it. Spend a lot of time with my family. I got a big family, so tons of time with them, and then try and do a family trip once a summer and do that. And then, you know, I still haven't seen like many of my friends since I've been back because all the restrictions and stuff. But yeah, try and golf a little bit with Fraz. Yeah, nothing crazy though. Like you blink and the summer's over for us. It's so fast.
Yeah.
So you talk about Posty. You talk about having a big family. You got a lot of nieces and nephews, and I know Noah and Alyssa with their new project at the Dome. I guess it's probably a couple years old now, but with COVID, it seems like it was just kind of yesterday. Are you working out there?
I am. Yeah, me and Fraz are both working out there. Yeah,
that's an amazing facility, and I wish that COVID kind of happened at such a bad time. We went and played baseball out there a couple times, and it's such a cool setup out there.
When COVID's not a thing, when COVID's kind of over, it would be so fun to set up like an indoor baseball league over the winter, like where you could just something you can't do, and just to get you out of the house a couple days or a night out of the week or something.
Yeah,
I think we were signed up for that, and it just didn't happen because of COVID.
Our first year we were open, we actually hosted a 20-team slow pitch tournament.
What?
And yeah, we have a cafe in like the hard structure of the building with beers on tap. So yeah, there was 20 teams. Teams like drove in from Saskatchewan and stuff, and it was awesome.
Where's the beer from again, Posty? Sawback?
Yeah, it's Sawback beer.
Sawback, yeah.
Yeah, but this should be on tap. So.
Yeah, get the treble teas on tap.
Yeah.
I actually think we have these just in cans, but yeah, beer's on tap, and it's an absolute. I mean, Lars, you've been in there. It's amazing. It's awesome. So me and Fraz every morning are there working out. Sometimes it's hard to work out there because all you want to do is just hit the batting cages or play some baseball. Or one day I showed up last year and Fraz just got a pitching wedge and a bucket of golf balls, and I'm like, we gonna work out today, Fraz, or are we just gonna work on our swing?
Yeah, that's what my battle is too. I always want to work out, but then I always just end up drinking trouble tea or eating burgers.
Yeah, as much as he wants to work out, he doesn't want to a whole lot more. So that's
just so many distractions here.
So we'll get to Kevin Walsh. Didn't care to join us tonight, but he did ask a good question. Who's the toughest player that you've either played with or against? if you can hear us over the neighbor watering the lawn. Yeah.
I got it. The toughest guy would be Luke Gazdick and Eric Goddard.
Oh,
Goddard.
Yeah. I played with Gods. He was played my first year when I was in Texas. He was with Dallas and got sent down for the season, and he was like scary tough. And then Gazzy too. Like everyone knows Luke Gazdick from his days with the Oilers, and I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that.
Maddie, did you get any tilts in the NHL?
Yeah, I got in a few. Yeah, it definitely was not my game, but sometimes you just don't have a choice. But
so is the Austrian league, like, is the style of play pretty similar to over here? Is it like
no
noticeable difference?
Yeah, it's just it's definitely not as physical. It's just more kind of free flowing and more skill and like hold on to the puck and make plays and kind of like that's nice. Man, we only play 54 games too, so it's a little bit easier on the body. You're not so there's obviously still injuries, but it takes out some of the wear and tear that you get when you're playing 82 game season. So that part of it's really nice.
Here's a subtle trick for you, Maddie. How did it feel to get outscored by your best buddy, who's a defenseman?
That wasn't very subtle. I was kind of mean.
Yeah.
That's just a chirp.
Dustin's the art of subtle, like master the art of subtlety. Usually.
Yeah.
No, I'm just bugging you guys.
No. Hey, I will say, and Posty would never say this because he's not that type of guy. But when he came over there and when he was in our lineup and he was like, he is an elite player in that league, and he really made our team a lot better. So if Posty has more points than me, then I'm a happy man, and he should too.
Well, thanks, buddy. I don't know if that's all.
Is that him or us? We don't know. We got backyard Wi-Fi.
That's Posty.
Got her.
I was gonna ask him, but Matt, this is a good question for you because we're gonna pump our own tires on this podcast a little bit because we found out that no, that you're on the bus in Austria. You told Dustin this story, listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
How did you find that, and how bored were you if that's what you were doing?
Well, like all the bars were closed and everything like that. So I had, you spend lots of time on the bus and you're always looking for stuff to do and kind of ways to distract your brain. And I mean, like I said, I've known Morsey for a long time, and even Lundy, like I've known your family for a long time. Our sisters grew up playing soccer together and everything. So like it was just something to tune into. And then once you get into it, it's cool hearing about all the stuff that is going on around Red Deer and kind of keeps you up to date a little bit. Like it. And even when Posty and I were over there, we would turn on Big 105 or 98.9 or 95.5. And just like, it was nice to hear something from Red Deer and stuff like that. So it was great to listen to on the bus. And then you start listening to that the Cam Moon one and some people that and you want to listen to. And so, yeah, it was just easy, and it's fun to throw it in and kind of distract yourself a little bit.
Bunch of idiots, just dead air.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. My internet's a little tough out here. I'm more of a spectator tonight.
Yeah. Next time you cut out, the rule is tarp off when you come back.
Actually, the rule is every time you cut out, you gotta lose an article of clothing. Oh, did he cut out again? I think he cut out again.
So we're at time. Last question, or for you guys, and I don't know if we'll get Paul or not, but do you have a team you're cheering for right now that's still in the playoffs? Like Paul, you may not hear this. Like, is he cheering for Winnipeg? And Matt, maybe you're cheering for Boston, or?
I would like to see the Avalanche win. I can't say that I have a favorite team or, a team even during the regular season that I really follow. But if I'm going to pick, I would like to see the Avalanche win. I really like McKinnon. I like that Rantanen, that Makar. Like, some of those guys you just can't help but not like, I guess.
Did you see Graham? Did you see Graham's question?
Yeah, okay.
Graham, why are you gotta be a
yes.
shit disturber?
Yes, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking about this. That is a joke.
How many games did he get? I didn't see that today.
Four.
Is Posty in here? Oh, okay, we were talking about at the gym
suspension
today.
a joke or the hit a joke?
The suspension's a joke. That's a joke. Because
I thought he was going to get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
He should have got, if max 2. 1, it's playoff time. If that was like a Tuesday night in a regular season, and like, I get that. 2, he's a first-time offender.
Yeah.
So, and like, as soon as he did it, like his eyes were as big as saucers. You knew he screwed up.
It's still on.
Yeah.
His pants must be off.
Yeah. And the one thing that hurts him is that when he went into, like, when he didn't he didn't go stick first. You know, like he was going, you knew that he was taking that guy through the boards. But if he would have went stick first and tried to go for the puck, then you could argue, well, he went for the stick, but he like went through the man. It sucks that Evans got hurt. Like, that's obviously, like, you don't want to see that. And but like max 2 games. That's to put him 4 games. That puts them at game 5, and to take him out of the series like that, that's dumb. That's stupid.
Yeah, if Evans didn't get hurt, I don't think there'd be any suspension.
Well, maybe he's just Luis Mendoza and the Mighty Ducks and can't stop. Now you're making him feel bad.
Like that, like, yeah, what Paul Maurice said. It was a heavy hit, and it sucks that he got that Evans got hurt. But I don't think that was a 4-game suspension. Not for him. Absolutely not. If that was Wilson off the Capitals, that would be a much different story. But that's right. Yeah. And also, like Katie Odegaard said, like, you got to keep your head up and you got to know what's coming down the pipe too. Like, that's also on the player as well. But I don't know. I think that's a joke.
I love it. And I love the passion too.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have time for this. We got to go.
Look at Nielsen chiming in.
Yeah. Don't like my shirt.
I guess my final question would be: do you guys have a favorite building that you played in over the years? It doesn't have to be NHL; it can be any league. But do you have a favorite building?
Can you guys hear me again? Am I back?
Yeah.
Finally. I've been moving all over the house trying to get a good spot here.
Teleported there. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So Paul, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say one because it's like in the NHL, every rink is awesome for the most part, minus like Buffalo. But I'd say Madison Square Gardens is unbelievable. Like one of the most famous arenas in the world. And in warm-ups, they have a live DJ every night. So like the music is ridiculous. And you're always like looking in the crowd to see what celebrities are there. And I'd say it's one of my favorites. And then also like the Bell Center in Montreal, like all the jerseys in the rafters. And when you come out and that, like, is it Coldplay or that song comes on, and it's just like, oh, you just get goosebumps. The lights turn down and you're just buzzing hard laps. I'd say either of those 2 arenas are up there for sure.
Yeah. Those are, I would agree with Paul too. Like, those are obviously 2 iconic arenas, but to experience a game in Europe at a really cool, like, small little rink that's got a lot of history, and it's like all the local fans come there. It's like a riot, like, and there's the huge cheering sections and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, the places that Paul said are great, but sometimes those little, like, European towns that have a wicked fan base and a cool little arena are pretty fun to play in too.
Okay, my last question.
That's true. There's like,
no, go ahead, Posey.
Sorry, I was going to say it's more of like a soccer atmosphere in those rinks, which is so cool.
Just as I heard Fraz talking there, Just like obviously people see in the Spangler Cup, and you got to experience that. I'll just make that the last question of the night. How was that experience at the Spangler Cup?
I'd say that's probably one of my top memories of hockey ever. Like Canada just does such an amazing job putting on that tournament. I was able to fly my parents down to be a part of it, and one of my sisters with her son. And every day they have something planned for the family members, and we had a practice outside. And you're in Davos, right in the heart of the mountains, it's basically like there's a rink in Banff, basically, and
the Swiss Alps.
Yeah. Craig McTavish was our head coach, and it's like I was never an Oilers fan, so I never met him. I didn't know that much about him, but what an awesome guy. Smart, such a good talker.
Legend.
Our first
legend.
Our first meeting, we're in a ballroom, and it's all players from all over the place. So some guys are in the KHL, some guys are all over Europe, but it's the first time you see other Canadians in a long time. And it's just instantly, these guys are all my best friends, right away. And he's like, okay, this is gonna be a little bit, but we're gonna do our video of D zone, neutral zone, offensive zone, and then our D coach was Paul Coffey, and that was it doesn't get any better.
How cool is that?
Really. It was unbelievable. So, I mean, after games, having beers in the room and Paul Coffey sitting beside you in your stall, just telling stories and stuff. But anyway, back to the ballroom, McTavish is like, hey, we're going to do this stuff, but halfway through, we'll just take a little break. And then sure enough, halfway through, they pull in Canadian beer. So a lady rolls in a cart with just a cart full of beer. So all the guys just grab Canadian beer. And we're slugging those back, just kind of getting to know everyone. And that just kind of set the bar for the whole tournament.
Too many teas.
It was amazing. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Unbelievable.
Okay, the very, very, very last question I have is if anyone from Red Deer wants to watch you guys play next year, is there a way to watch the games?
Go to Austria.
Besides
come visit us. Yeah.
Do they see the games?
Yeah, there's always a link. My parents and friends would all be watching playoffs and the championships and stuff like that. My parents watch all the games and stuff. There's I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know, but there is a link, and it's actually I'm from what my parents say, it works really well, and it works it's on point and everything like that. So there is, you're definitely able to watch it.
The only crap part is sometimes the time change, because it's an 8-hour time change. So you're watching games at 10 in the morning or something, if that's possible. But if you just go online and just look us up on Google, you'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
There you go.
That's
nice of you to pipe in, Lundy. I was wondering if you were sleeping over there, buddy.
He's just thinking about looking for his
Thanks for the input.
To take his tarp off.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point to wrap up. So Matt and Paul, thank you so much for joining us. I know you guys have the connections to Dustin and London and these guys, and which is funny because you guys have known Matt for so long, yet I'm the only one he's paying to show up to his wedding. That's how much he enjoys me on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No, looking forward to actually DJing your wedding. But thank you guys. I know you don't have a ton of time to yourself when you're back, so we really appreciate you doing this. And hey, hopefully we can do this in a week or so, knock on wood, at Troubled Monk over a pint of tea. But yeah, we really appreciate it. Everyone, as always, go to Troubled Monk, pick up your case of Troubled Tea, go for a pint. And yeah, I think that's just about it. So thank you again to you guys. And Dustin, don't forget to save the video, because if I don't tell you, you might forget.
You got her.